Japanese hot springs. Now I'm down for that.
I'm looking forward to it. Well, Jan seems to be happy to be staying at the hot spring. Yes, indeed. Hakone is a resort town with many such places. In a Japanese-style room, they'll sleep on a futon mattress laid on tatami.
Hey, Alexander. China is ruining my signal of NHK today. It was super strong. But at least it's still listenable on a foggy day. I mean, this fence right here is like ice. Right here is ice as well.
From what time to what time? Today's point. To ask what time something is going to start and what time it'll end, clarify what the question is about by using the particle what.
This is probably my last tuning of being able to hear NHK English at this time, because I think here in the US we move our clocks back, and I know NHK hasn't changed their times like Romania and Turkey do, so it'll be at 7 o'clock, which I'll be still getting ready to go to school, so.
Use nanji kara desu ka? That's from what time. If you only want to know the time something ends, say nanji made desu ka, meaning until what time. Okay, listen and repeat out loud.
Woo, that's nice. It's all around like the end of October, and we have a holiday here in the US, Halloween. So it's like it was like 68 degrees a couple days ago, but now it's like freezing and such like that. Getting ready for winter. These like drops right here are all ice as well. Oh my gosh. It's all ice.
Inquiring about times at the front desk of the hotel. すみません。明日の朝食は何時から何時までですか?
At least with the time change, we'll be able to hear Voice of America sign off at 9 o'clock, because they sign off at 8 now.
Now, let's look at the alphabet. すみません. Excuse me.
But I do want to check and see how crazy the CB band is going to be this morning.
No better in there. Hey, 506, no better. We've been living out there in them bushes out there with the rattlesnakes and them kind of cows. He think he won there, Lord.
Okay, yeah, it's crazy this morning. It's always crazy. These guys are like everywhere on 27025. I might, hold on, let me pull out my water bottle real quick here, and we can, I guess we can use that to prop the camera up.
Now it's your turn. Listen and repeat out loud.
There we go, that should be good.
Let's ask about time in other situations. Imagine a fireworks festival is planned for tonight. Ask a staff member at the inn when the festival is going to begin. Fireworks festival is...
Thank goodness for that. I've been hearing VOV on 11855 on 11885 as well, pretty good now all of a sudden. I missed the VOA frequency from Greenville at around from like 17 to 18:30 UTC. That was a good signal for me to hear VOA. And now I just hear the Portuguese broadcast from Greenville, except they don't sign off with the interval signal anymore like they do with the English one.
We're going to close. This door is
But I've been hearing NHK Japan and Japanese on like 11630
now give it a try.
at like 22 UTC, which is like 4 p.m. here.
この店は何時までですか？この店は何時までですか？
I'm still mad at AWR though.
Today's bonus phrase is what Tam said when asked whether she's ever bathed in a Japanese hot spring. Memorize it as a whole phrase.
初めてです。
But mostly my life, not much, just listening to the radio. I've been going back and listening to some older recordings of the DX party line from HCJB with Clayton and Helen Howard. And other than that, I've been working on a very big interval signals project. Now people have already done interval signal collections, but the one I'm working on, it doesn't include all countries, but it includes a lot of like state broadcasters from various countries, including Africa and stuff. It's already reached an hour and 15 minutes. And so far I've been working on it three days, 2 of the days for 2 hours, and yesterday for 1 hour. So it's been taking me a total of 5 hours to just get like and editing everything. I think I have for day 2, I think I have a previous live stream that you can see. 'Cause the first day I worked on it, and yesterday I didn't what do I call it? I didn't do a live stream of it.
Or Papa's backpack and still go out with strangers. Michael, have you ever done that?
Actually, I love Japanese philosophy.
Ice.
I love it so much. Professional schedulers, 30 seconds.
Oh, okay, yeah, so yeah, I've just been working on that. I know I took a break and listened to some non-directional beacons. I'm trying to get some of the ones from Wyoming, but none of the SDRs cover it, unfortunately, because I noticed out of like 8 non-directional beacons in Wyoming, one of them from like Gray Bull, Wyoming, is now decommissioned, sadly, which I used to listen to a lot.
That's for the bathing etiquette. Before something ends up, first rinse yourself off. And make sure to
And in that stream, I found a couple zombie beacons, which were supposed to be inactive, but decided to keep broadcasting.
everyone benefits from keeping the Canango bathwater clean.
Now I realize what Bach would be great at right about now.
We hope you enjoyed today's Easy Japanese.
Be sure to come back again.
I'm wishing you luck. Hopefully you can get some from Iran, from east of Iran. I don't know how Arnie does it in Poland, but he always like receives Bangladesh and stuff like that, and China and such like that. I'm like, how do you receive that on medium wave? I don't understand you people. I mean, I know we have a lot more stations over here, but it's probably because the FCC limits interference. Whereas the ITU's like, broadcast with whatever power you want, whatever frequency you want, we don't care. Speaking of long wave, let's go down to my favorite non-directional beacon. Put the telescopic antenna down here. Dang. That's interference from my phone there. So let's see if we can get 383 kilohertz here. Oh, that is a CNP in Chapel, Nebraska. I think it's around 300 miles east of me. So just a non-directional beacon. One of the few I can receive, since I know the D808 isn't that good on long wave. It's one of the few stations I can receive. I think real quick, I'm gonna pull out my computer to charge my phone here real quick, so I'll leave you with for music on KLVZ here while I pull that out to help charge my phone. Those beacons are for airports. I can't remember the exact reason what they're for, but they just repeat their call sign in Morse code. But there's something with the airports. In that case, that one is only 25 watts, so we're talking like really low power, and it's going like 300 miles away. But we do have a lot of flatland, and out east it's basically nothing but flatland, so it makes sense why it's so easy to receive those. The frost is getting crazy over here, so I think I'm probably gonna transfer real quick here to the table just down the walk path here in the park I'm at. I gotta be careful. I don't want to drop that. I dropped my D808 yesterday for the second time, and I was like, oh crap. And this time it was a lot higher fall, but it took like no damage whatsoever. And I was like, what? I'm like, for something that has an LCD display, it's pretty indestructible. I mean, what? Okay, I mean not indestructible. I mean, compared to like Motorola phones or whatever, or sorry, Nokia phones. Yeah, that NDB station, for only being a kilowatt of power for like 900 miles away, was pretty good, honestly. I'm probably gonna stand up because last time when I sat here on a day where it was cold like this, I don't wanna freeze my butt off, because I did that last time, and that made me end up going inside, and I don't want that right now. So I'm gonna put my phone on a charger here real quick, because when I just started this, my phone was at like 49, and now it's at like 39 or something like that after a period of 10 minutes. I'm just gonna when I have it charging from the computer and low brightness, it's pretty good otherwise. So okay. Oh, now it's at like 36%, so oh dear. Okay. Oh. Here we go. Would you like to hear medium wave stations by chance? Let me test how some of the medium wave stations I can hear here, if you want to hear any of those. I like my selection. I like my selection of medium wave stations here. All right. Here we go. Let's start at the bottom here. 520, for being pretty sensitive. I never tried much morning medium wave DXing. I know in the mornings when I get ready for school at like 6:30 here, the sun is still starting to rise. So on the east part, I can't get any of the Chicago stations because it's already like sunrise there. But I can get stations like KNX and such like that from Los Angeles. There's been some other stations that have been plaguing 990 CBW in Manitoba, Canada, or Winnipeg, Canada. So it's been tough trying to listen to a CBC Radio 1. But here we go. It's
GundersonCapital.com. That's GundersonCapital.com. This is Bill Gunderson. I have been a professional money manager for the last 23 years. I was there when the bursting of the dot-com bubble.
This is a 560 KLZ, which is it's one of those digital HD radio stations. So if I had my HD radio with me, I could decode it. So it's basically like the DAB version in Europe, except it's next to the station. I haven't heard much for Central America except Cuba when I was down in Florida a couple weeks ago. And I usually hear a couple stations from Mexico here that are like pretty high power. Mexico doesn't follow the max 50 kilowatt rule. I think that's just a US Canada thing, because 540 I could probably hear CBK, I think it is, in Saskatchewan, CBC Radio 1. But it's always a fight between that and a 100 kilowatt Mexico station near Mexico City on 540.
Security. We are always thinking of ways to save you time and make things easier. That's why.
There's some noise on my phone, but 590 is usually a station down in Colorado Springs, way down south in Colorado.
Sophia Smith finished fourth in the voting. Lindsay Rand was fifth. Mallory Swanson sixth, and Trinity Rodman was ninth. Alyssa Nair, the only goalkeeper nominated for the award, finished.
Yeah, I got some noise because my phone is charging, and my phone camera usually generates a little bit of noise when close to it. This is a 600 KCOL, which the transmitters are literally just across the street from WWV.
Elf Beauty is serious about igniting conversations that'll reshape the future of sports. Join the movement at elfbeauty.com.
I'm Julie Nettleman. I'm Rob Gronkowski. I don't have to worry about it.
Ah!
There are
Sorry about the buzzing.
1,000 or more lawyers.
Don't you love spam phone calls? This is a 630 KHOW, KHOW, in Denver. 5,000 watts day and night.
The problem with worrying about it is that right now there's nothing you can do about it. There's no way to track, which is,
Coffee when all you need is a cup, or filling your entire truck bed full of gas when you only need a tank. Now, with Pure Talk, my cell phone company, you get...
This is, 650 KGAB in Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Tax 5 gigs of data, which is more than enough, and they'll include mobile hotspot and roaming in 50-plus countries. Stop overpaying for wireless. Get America's best 5G coverage with Pure Talk. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword SAVE NOW.
This is another HD radio station, 670 KLTT.
a son. It means what she was.
Which I can kind of see the transmitters, and I'll probably be seeing them again, because when I go visit relatives or something down in Denver and stuff like that, the way we take a toll road called E470, and we pass by a bunch of AM radio tower stations. For example, the original interstate, before you get on that highway E470, there's radio station K. I'll actually show you I'll tell you which ones when I pass by frequencies, which one of them will be coming up here in a second.
Before I formed thee.
690 is a station out of Nebraska, but I have too much high noise right now. I can only get it on my D808. Weak 710 KNUS because it doesn't beam anywhere near me. They beam like Denver and like east, but that's one of the stations I can pass by. I think if you scroll down on my videos, like way back, you can see as I took a video of passing by the radio antennas and transmitter site.
This is the Space Act.
Who was in New York?
760 KDFD, another station that I passed by on the road.
She is a Christian. She's a devoted mom.
50,000 watts day, 1 kilowatt at night.
When Governor Andrew Cuomo signed into law the Reproductive Health Act, that decision to legalize abortion up to birth was disturbing.
Political talk station.
For you.
One of my favorites. This is also an HD radio station. This is KLVZ, and a leaf just decided to drop down from this tree that I'm under. This is KLVZ, which plays oldies music, 60s and 70s.
Or send a message from the Legends advertisers page at legends953.com.
Go back to the days when musicians had real talent on Legends 95.3 FM and 810 AM.
I still think it's acceptable, unlike a bunch of these other stations that they only advertise their FM translator frequency now. This one, they'll advertise their FM translator frequency, but a lot of times most of their jingles, when they do ones like those, they'll say 95.3 FM and 810 AM, which they're actually on 94.3 FM and also 95.3 FM, but I barely get any of those. I'll put on the in here. At night, this would be WBAP in Fort Worth, Texas, and this would be WCCO in Minneapolis.
Process. Nearly a third of all registered voters in the state have already turned in their election.
This is a 50,000 watt clear channel, KOA, which also has an FM studio transmitter link on like 26 or 150 or 950 or something like that. I can't remember. It's on the EIBI space listing. There's no carrier right now, but yesterday I tuned on a QESDR in California, and you could hear just an empty carrier. So it is there, but I think every once in a while they might have some modulation or something.
Crash now off to the shoulder. 225 around Parker, still a little busy. I-25 South Broadway down past Colorado, and it looks like coming into downtown from the Turnpike through about 20th over towards Spears. Going to see a little slow and go, 270, same situation. Even the Turnpike coming into Broomfield from that point towards Boulder. Got some crowded conditions, but speeds are starting to climb.
This is a KJMP in Fort Collins, a classic hip-hop station. That would be KRVN in Nebraska at night. Oh, I forget the call sign of the station. I think it's it's KPOF. Another HD radio digital station. 950 is off the air for some reason.
Serious? And I take my clothes off on this side of the room. We haven't touched each other. Are you kidding? That still goes into your mind. It's gonna affect
Religious
you in your
Christian
life.
station.
God loves you.
Such a wonderful, magical time, and for some people it really isn't.
This is KSIR in Brush, Fort Morgan out in eastern Colorado, where a lot of the farmers are here in Colorado, so it's a farm radio network service. It's one of my few favorites I like to listen to. There's just something different compared to the political talk. You get all the agricultural stuff, so.
But I thought I would do this on my own in my spare time.
A 50,000 watt Christian station that is literally down the street from me.
100,000 words.
That is usually around 83 dBu on the dial.
I got something to tell you. She said, what?
See me, love?
en donde vi a la señora esa.
Ajá.
Y yo, no nada más la vi yo, sino que varios miembros de mi familia
Ajá.
también la vieron, unos primos.
Ajá.
Y de repente, pues
I don't
¿sabes
remember
qué
much of the
dicen?
call
Que
signs for
en
these stations
esas
up here.
partes en donde se aparecen
Dropping my camera here.
porque veían hasta unas flamitas de lumbre.
Ah, eso
41
también
degrees
decían
Fahrenheit.
que...
It is not bad. It's like 30 degrees or something here.
Colored in, right between nature and nurture. So even if you inherited the strongest genetic propensity for anxiety, you'd only be slightly more anxious than the average bear.
Porque tengo entendido que en algunos países no permiten, no a menos de 6 meses que esté a punto de vencerse un pasaporte para poder aceptarlo. ¿Cómo es en México?
The 1 kilowatt station out of Greeley. And then this is KVCU, the University of Colorado College radio station in Boulder. The Colorado State University one is on 90.5 FM, which I can also receive. Another digital HD radio station in Denver, but their power is too weak in the morning. Is too weak that I can't receive it here, or I can only receive the analog. Can't receive the digital. It's not strong enough. Again, a lot of these would be stronger if I didn't have the charger on, but this is KFBC in Wyoming, Cheyenne. 1280 KBNO in Denver.
Shelter in place at the moment. We are hearing reports of a possible barricade situation following a shooting in that area. And
What?
Something to obviously be very much aware of. If you can at all avoid that area right now, it's an active situation, and until we have all of the information, it is best to just let those police officers do their work, and we pray for the best outcome that could come out of this.
Yeah, I can't really speculate any further or give you any more information
What the
than we
heck?
have right there. Anything else would just be making stuff up or just speculating, and no need to do that. We'll wait for facts to come rolling in on this, but the fact is there is
KFKA.
a police situation, and the fact is that it's out by the hospital on 34 there is
Oh,
is the
no.
St. Michael Square area.
Oh,
out there.
no.
This is all happening. So
Oh no. No, please, no. Oh no. I know where that hospital is. Oh no. I feel so sorry for all those people.
Okay, so it looks like we got some interesting stuff. I want to get into a couple stories, but before we do that, looks like our good friend Kevin's calling in, and we'll bring him on real quick. Kevin, what do you got?
$1410 KIIX in Fort Collins, which plays classic country. Yeah, it is very sad. I can't believe some people are like this. This used to be an oldies station, but then switched to sports. But I preferred the oldies station. And I used to listen to it back in 2018 when I didn't know anything about AM radio. I actually got started on AM radio because I had a boombox that had AM radio, and I was like, what is this band? And then it was just so interesting when I heard the talk radio, and I was like, why is nobody listening to this? And then my grandpa told me we used to be able to hear Colorado out in Nebraska, and I was like, yeah, right. And then I started hearing a station out of Nebraska one night on my alarm clock radio, and I was like, what? And then I felt like I had a video game moment, achievement unlocked, AM radio DXing. Spanish station out of Greeley. This is a repeater of CPR, Colorado Public Radio, which is basically a version of NPR on medium wave, which is surprising compared to, because they're usually all on like FM.
According to the power of an endless life.
Said I needed to reconnect, so I guess I had a weak signal. But anyway, so their rent was coming up and they needed to pay the bills. And next thing I knew, they went off the air for a long time. Then they started playing Spanish music, and then they went back to the religious. I know, it's so weird. Like when you get into AMDXing, you're like, what is this? Why is this happening? You know? It's another Spanish station from Denver. ESPN 1600 in Denver, which I used to listen to for sports, but I don't usually often now, ever since they changed WCBS into WHSQ, though I guess it wasn't ESPN's fault. I think it was just Odyssey's fault. This is a 10-watt information radio station, WPPZ 664, the city of Loveland. Not that I know of. I think there might be some medium wave pirates, but I haven't checked. I don't think so much. Whereas I know in like Europe, at least tuning the Netherlands SDR, you guys get like a lot of pirates there.
The city of Loveland information radio station, 1610 AM.
Which I'm surprised they're still on the air because their license like expired in 2015 and they never renewed it. So it got canceled, but they're still here. I know, they know some good music, those Dutch pirates. Another Spanish station. It's kind of weak. But this would be WQQT 493, City of Longmont information radio station, which went off the air after a 2-year absence. I think it was July 2022 or something like that, and it came back in August of this year when I reported it. And I originally, in January of this year, uploaded a cassette clip from a very damaged tape. Like, it was damaged to the point where the tape split off, and I repaired it with some tape, but not the best, like, to where it's rubbing all over, so that's why it sounds all slow when it's playing. So I'm going to need to go back in there, take off that tape, and do the usual way where people use, like, isopropyl alcohol in, like, a box or a table. Put them together, put a piece of tape on, and then use an X-Acto knife to cut off the sides of the tape where the tape does not reach. I'm like, that is clever.
Because you know who you are, and I know you're listening. Of course you're listening. But that's my message to you.
And another medium wave station. And there we go. So that's what radio is like for me here. I'm kind of lucky because I get a market of Denver, northern Colorado, and Wyoming ones. And then I think I have my other radio here. If we want to hear some NOAA weather radio, because my local NOAA weather radio station is literally like the transmitter's down the street. So it's so strong. But I don't actually have my Midland radio, which alerts me. Which I wanna do a parody, because I know people do like NOAA weather radio parodies, and I saw somebody do a NOAA weather radio parody, but it was like if Albania had like NOAA weather radio. I'm like, I need to do like if Turkey had NOAA weather radio or if Poland had NOAA weather radio. Like, it's funny. Okay, let's take a look here. See if I can get this thing on here.
The All Hazards Radio. For current road conditions, call 511 or visit www.cotrip.org. For complete weather information, visit weather.gov/Denver. This is a freeze warning. For the following locations in Colorado: Fort Collins, Boulder, and the western suburbs of Denver, Castle Rock, Greeley, and Byers. Freeze warning remains in effect from 10 p.m. this evening to 9 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time Thursday. What?
So this freeze warning cancels in literally 8 minutes from now.
Where? Fort Collins, Boulder, and the western suburbs of Denver, Castle Rock, Greeley, and Byers. When? From 10 p.m.
I'm sure it would be. Oh my gosh, it's so cold. I breathed out and all the... It fogged up my phone screen.
Crops, another sensitive vegetation, and possibly damage unprotected outdoor plumbing. Take steps now to protect tender plants from the cold and drain irrigation systems. This is a freeze warning. For the following locations in Colorado: Fort Collins and Greeley. Dense fog advisory in effect until 9 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time.
I mean, yeah, we do have some dense fog, which is, I'd say, uncommon.
Mountain Daylight Time this morning. What? For the dense fog advisory, visibility less than 1 mile in dense fog.
This
For the freeze warning,
WXM50 in Greeley. Which are similar because they're from the same National Weather Service office in Boulder. But if you listen, they have like slight differences, like when they do the temperature observations around Colorado. And this isn't as sensitive. It only gets 3 stations, whereas I can get a bunch of other stations on my radio. And KEC 76 in Denver, which is the same programming as the Strong station we were listening to. And the frequencies they use, there's channel 1s through channel 7. And so channel 1 starts at 162.400 megahertz, channel 2 0.425, channel 3 0.450, and it goes on until channel 7, which is the highest one, which is where KEC 76 in Denver was, 162.550 megahertz. So my local is on channel 4, 162.475 megahertz. WXM51 is the call sign. And the DSP chip has decided to quit on me, I guess. That's the problem, because I have an emergency crank radio that has a pure analog chip on it. It doesn't have any weather band, but it has I'm gonna actually put this down on top of the D808 here. It has shortwave, so it's like my only like pure shortwave radio that has pure analog like tuning, and it's really fun to tune on. Like, I've heard Voice of America and such like that tuning on it, and it sounds so natural to hear. You know, like you can center on the carrier better by just hearing the sound of it as it fades in, fades out kind of deal. Put the telescopic antenna up first, actually, will probably be helpful. So I have my notebook with me of CB channels, but I don't know if I want to pull that out right now. So I'm gonna tune this CB radio band with actually we can listen to before we do CB, let's hear NHK followed by Voice of Korea. Which, by the way, should I mention, have you guys heard about how Radio Romania is what's it called? Romania for the time being, or says for the foreseeable future, or according to what I heard on the listeners letterbox program, they said from now on we will no longer be able to send QSLs via snail mail or even online, which I'm wondering if I want to, because I know on the Shortwave Archive website, it's from like 2017, they had a list of critically endangered and endangered and vulnerable shortwave stations, and I wonder like if I should make my own of that. And I think I'd have to put Romania in endangered by now, possibly, because not only did they get a budget cut, but now they're cutting QSLs because they need the power. And who knows what else it'll be. Because I laugh, and I was very hopeful because they said for the time being, hopefully, like once those budget cuts are done, we could be able to restore full service. But it's been a year now, and I really think those budget cuts might be a permanent thing, unfortunately. Super Bowl channel 27225. Let me try that. Take a look here. Is it SSB? Or no, it's CB. That's why. Okay, that makes sense. But it looks like it is a single sideband. Weird. I just heard a SSB signal though. Nothing that I hear here though. So it's pretty quiet. Which reminds me, I really hope they didn't change the schedules for this yet, because I want to see. There it is. It's kind of weak. I'm gonna pull off the charger on my phone. Transworld Radio Eswatini. So it's I love hearing that IS. I remember the first day I heard it, I was actually outside for lunch on school. I used to be by the flagpole at the front, and the dean at my school always thought it was so cool that I was catching all these signals. So I was out during lunch, and I heard the interval signal on 15105, and I was like, whoa. So let me go down to 11710 here and see if we can get the... It's so strong!
Korea.
This is Voice of Korea.
There we go. My thing is like, I don't want filters.
This is Voice of Korea.
This is Voice of Korea.
Well, it's saying my orientation is locked now, and I can't do anything about it, even though it's literally correctly how I wanted it orientated, or how I wanted it to be landscape. Anyway, dang, 20 kilowatt transmitter. Some of these people are crazy. I know there's one SSB channel, at least hearing in Massachusetts. I would probably put a viewer discretion advised kind of deal, because it's got some swearing on it, but it's people arguing about politics and just cursing on CB, and some guy's like, go get a job, fix that Fisher Price radio of yours and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, okay. Hey, Dr. De-Engineering. Welcome. Salem, Oregon. Nice. What's the tempo up there? It's like 30 degrees here and foggy and cold here in Colorado. I just want to thank everybody. I woke up this morning and I saw I had over 400 subscribers, and I'd like to say thank you. I've never thought I'd come this far. I usually don't ask people to subscribe because A, I don't make money off of any of my videos, and B, I don't want to make money off my videos. I just want to be that person who's like kind of like old school YouTube, where it never was you could make money off videos. It was just post videos for the fun of it, and that's kind of what I do. I just, I like doing these streams, just hanging out. I like just uploading videos. I want to show like my knowledge and just show the hobby that I enjoy, So what I do is I take a subscribe as you like the content that I create, and that's all. Should we try the CB channel? I know the CB channel's on like what, 27, like 26, like 7995, I guess, or something. I don't know. I can't remember. I guess not. There's those people on like 27025, which are they like from Alabama or something like that? I know one of the people they were calling was UFO Killer or something last night. They're loud, crazy, and overmodulated. Hey, how are you? Oh, sweet, thank you. Ah! Hold up, I know. Hey, take care. Under the seat. Oh, I see it, thank you. $43 degrees and raining. Okay, not bad. It was raining here earlier today. Does not like my orientation, so it'd probably be really hard to see the chat here. I always have to laugh when it's like when they all start transmitters, because they're all like not centered on frequency. So it's like if somebody will be talking and all of a sudden you just hear a bunch of tones from all the carriers. What the heck? I guess this is where I'd want to be, because walkie-talkies, you know, everybody assumes like it's a private channel and nobody's on them. So I always try to spark up a conversation, but nobody wants to talk. And they're so tiny. So I just really want to do CB radio. I think that's what I do before I get a ham license. Just get an experience of it. And also, I guess if other people are going to shout into the radio, I guess I can start shouting into the radio. And crank up my amplifier or something like that and over modulate myself. Oh, so they do come from around the world. I thought it was like only a couple blocks, which I guess I shouldn't be surprised about that because it's shortwave radio, but... pretty quiet, at least there. With the CB bands, you never know. I also felt sad yesterday because I tuned into an SDR in the UK and heard LBC News was off, which is a bummer. But I got a bunch of recordings of it starting, I think, Monday last week. Though I think I missed a couple days to record off SDRs, but I got a couple hours of programming, so... But it's still quite sad. I did not expect that, and then until I realized who owned it, and I think it's Global, I think, is who owns it or something like that, and then I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. They're gonna annihilate every single medium wave broadcast they own. Which I still think it's funny, the only Nordic country, the only state broadcaster in the Nordic countries that's still using analog AM radio that's on medium wave / long wave is now Norway, that 1 kilowatt NRK P1 transmitter up in Longyearbyen. Because now Iceland has gone off the air, Denmark's off the air. Long wave wise, at least. Finland and Sweden have been off of long wave forever. I think their medium wave transmitters in Finland and Sweden outlasted their long wave transmitters, at least broadcast wise. Though there's not much story on it, and I want to hear, like, I've been trying to find somewhere. Does, like, anybody, or do any of you guys know if there's, like, any recordings somewhere or something like that of just, like, somebody in the 1980s or 1990s in the middle of Europe just scanning the long wave bands at all?
Hello.
Hello there, person. I think Europe has a FM radio and CB band, right? Like FM mode, CB. Weird. Yeah, because I really wish like somebody would use it. I remember seeing a, it's still somewhere, I think it's from somebody who was in Finland, who was in the, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, in the Maldives Islands or something like that. It was they had a camcorder with them in the 90s, and they used like a simple like Sangean or Sony radio or something like that. It was the middle of the day there, and they were on the 16-meter band, and it was YLE Radio Finland. And not only that, I think they also had like a bunch of medium wave stations too, but it's like I wish they recorded some more of that, because not only is it cool hearing like cassette tapes, but actually seeing like video, you know, of just the radio receiving these stations from like back then. It's just it's cool, you know. Okay, yeah, I'll have to take a look at that. I know there's also one in like the UK too that was from like 2010, which they had like, they heard stations like TalkSport and China Radio International, and I was like, that has to be like some interference or something, because they were like down there. Or like TalkSport was on like 189 kilohertz, and I was like, I don't think they were ever on 189 kilohertz. I can't remember how far the CB band goes up. Woo! Okay, everyone, I think I'm going to end the stream here, because all of a sudden it's, my battery is being eaten up because it's so cold out here. My phone is at 12%, so I'd like to say thank you all for coming, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next live stream. Take care, everyone. I'll leave you with the people on 27025. That did not work.